Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the Hadoop distributed file system. So in this chapter, we are discussing about the structure of Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, the outline of today's class is, so we will discuss HDFS file system. Then after that, we will discuss what are the different components are available in HDFS. Okay, and what are the various system roles in Hadoop distributed file systems, and how we will write to HDFS file system, and how we will read from HDFS file system. Those things we will discuss. Then after that, we will discuss about the secondary name node. Okay, so then after that, we will finally we will discuss about the HDFS block replication. So that is more the same block will be replicated 2 to 3 times. So those things we will discuss in this today's class. Okay, so we already know that I have given brief introduction in introductory classes. Okay, so anyhow I have discussed in detail in this today's class. Okay, so Hadoop distributed file system. What do you mean by Hadoop distributed file system? A SDFS, we simply call SDFS. SDFS is a distributed file system for storing very large data files. Okay, so it may be a structured or unstructured or semi-structured, whatever it may be. So it is used, it is a distributed file system for storing very large data files running on cluster of commodity hardware. Okay, so running on clusters of commodity hardware. What is commodity hardware? So in commodity hardware is those the hardwares are most expensive and they can easily adjustable to other hardwares. Okay, so that one, so it means it will running on a commodity of clusters of commodity hardware. Okay, so we may have expensive hardware, so it can be adjustable with any other hardware. Okay, so on that this HTTPS file system will be running. Okay, so it is a fault tolerant. Okay, so it is a fault tolerant and scalable. Okay, whenever a huge volume of data increases, so at that time also its efficiency should not be decreased. So that is nothing but a scalable and extremely simple to expand. So easily we can expand of storage space of that HDFS. Okay, so HDFS comes bundled with sorry, Hadoop comes bundled with HDFS. Okay, so if you have a Hadoop framework, so automatically your HDFS are available. Okay, so it is Hadoop framework is with HDFS only. Okay, so because we need to store big data using HDFS only, it's possible. Okay, so then after that, a file system that manages storage specific operations across a network of machines is called a distributed file system. So I told that HDFS is a distributed file system. What is the distributed file system? A file system that manages storage specific operations across a network of machines. A more than more than n number of machines, that file system is manages storage specific operations. So it may be read or write operations across a network of machines. So we may have that is that file system is distributed among multiple machines. That's all. Okay, so HDFS is one such software. Okay, so here that if we have a file system, that file system is distributed among a n number of machines, all n number of machines. Okay, so they may read and write that file system. Okay, HDFS is one such software. Okay, so here HDFS components. Here we have mainly two components we have HDFS, that is a name node and data node. Okay, so HDFS consists of two nodes. So one is name node, another is data node. What is name node? A name node that manages the file system metadata. What is that metadata? Metadata is nothing but a structure of data. Okay, so that is structure of file, that is nothing but so how many what is the total size, how many files are there, okay, what is the data types, all it is regarding about structure of data. So that one we will call it as a metadata, that one we will call it as a data about data. So that is nothing but it contains the structure of data. And another one is data node. What is that data node? Data node that stores the actual data. Okay, so data node that stores the actual data. Okay, so actual data is stored in data node, that structure of that actual data will be stored in name node. Okay, so here next one is read write operations in HDFS operate at a block level. Okay, so read write operations in HDFS operate at a block level. It means we will have a specific size, block size, that is it will be 64 MB. Okay, so whenever you want to read and write, so using that block only, using block level only, it can be read and write. Okay, so the data files in HDFS are broken into block sized chunks. So data will be divided into n number of chunks. Okay, that chunk we will call it as a block. Okay, that block size will be the 64 MB. See here how much that memory, see, to read at a time. Suppose if it is wants to read, okay, so if it is wants to read one time, so it will take 64 MB. Okay, 64 MB data will be read at a time. The block size will be the, okay, in normally we will call it as a word, it will be a 3 byte or 4 like that, 64 bit MB. But here we will have a 64 MB data will be read at a time, the block size. So here various system roles in HDFS. So here what is the roles of HDFS in various systems? So here we have, whenever our clients wants to read and write, okay, so from the HDFS, okay, so that operations is explaining in this program, sorry, in this figure. So here we have a client whenever wants to read or write to HDFS. Okay, so I already told that HDFS contains two things. One is name node and data node. Whenever wants to client communicate, reads data from a HDFS, from HDFS, that is nothing but from a data node. Or whenever the client wants to write data to HDFS, so through name node only it possible. Okay, so here client will, client wants to read a data. So first it will communicate with the a name node. So because name node only knows the structure of the data, where that particular data is available, on which data node that particular data is available, everything is known by name node, because the structure of data, everything is contained in name node. Okay, so then after, name node is only responsible for all those things. Okay, so then name node will communicate with it will check all those things, and after that it will inform to client. So once it inform to client, once it gives the permission to client, then the client will directly read and write the data from HDFS. And here we will have a secondary name node. Okay, so whenever that new original name node fails, at the time it will take, okay, secondary node will come up, that one we will call it as a backup node. So I will discuss these things, how it will read and write operations will take. Okay, so here first, a name node, we know that a name node manages all the metadata. Okay, that is, the metadata is nothing but a data about data, or a description of all the data. A name node manages all the metadata, okay, the description or a structure of that data. Okay, so it will manages needed to store and retrieve the actual data from the data node. Okay, so that metadata is needed to retrieve, store and retrieve the actual data in the data node. So that name node is responsible. No data is actually stored on name node. Okay, so name node contains only structure of the data. Actual data is not stored in the name node. The design is master slave architecture. We will call it as master slave architecture. So name node, it will not store anything, just it will store the structure of the data. Okay, so then data node contains the actual data. So here what we do, the design is master slave architecture, in which master is name node, manages the file system namespace, and regulate access to the files by client. Okay, so everything namespace, for file namespace, it will contain all details of the files. Okay, the client will regulate access to files by client. Okay, it will, name node contains all the details about the data. So all the details about the files, that client will regulate access to that file. Okay, so then file system namespace operation including, so what are the operations on file? It may be opening file, or a closing file, or renaming files, and directories are managed by name node. What is the role of name node? It contains the structure of the data. So it means what are the operations on that file system? Okay, so it may be opening a file, it may be closing a file, it may be renaming a file, and directories, their directory structure, hierarchy. So all those things are managed by name node. Okay, so all those things are managed by name node. Okay, so here name node contains the metadata, actual contains data, and name node doesn't contain any data. Okay, so no data is actually stored in name node. So here we have it is a master slave architecture. In that, master is name node. It contains the file namespace, and it regulates to access to clients regularly access to these files, and that file system namespace operation including opening, closing, and renaming files and directories are managed by the name node. Okay, so the name node also determines the mapping of blocks to data nodes and handles the data node failure. This name node, what it will do, it determines the mapping of blocks to particular data. So here we have a n number of data nodes are there in a SDFS. So which file need to write that particular data? So that block will be mapped to particular data node. Okay, and also data node failures. Whenever a particular data node fails, we'll have a replication. Okay, so it handles the data failure also, data node failures. The slaves, that is nothing but a data nodes, are responsible for serving read and write requests from the file system to the client. So this the data node is responsible for read and write operations requested by the client. The next one is the name node also manages block creation, deletion, and replication. Okay, so this name node is also responsible for managing the block creation and deletion and replication. Okay, so it may be deletion is also possible, it may be replication is also possible, and it may be deletion is also possible. So these three things will be managed by name node. Okay, so this is the master slave architecture. And how in this master in how HDFS various system roles, in that we have two operations. One is write operations and another one is read operation. So how the client will write the data to data node. Okay, so what are the different steps? So first thing is what it will do, the client first communicates with the name node. Okay, so whenever client wants to read a data, so it will communicate with the name node and put a request to create a file. Okay, the client first communicates with the name node and puts a request to create a file. Okay, so just the client first, it will communicate with the name node and puts a request to create a file. Okay, for write operation. So then next step, what it will do, the name node determines the number of blocks needed for particular file. Okay, suppose if you know a 640 MB file, so then how many blocks we need? 10 blocks, because each block size is 64. Total 10 bytes. I need 10 blocks are needed to write 640 MB. Okay, so then the client, okay, and so needed and provides the clients with the data node that will store the data. So, okay, so it will calculate the how many blocks are needed to for a particular file to read, to write that data to that particular file. Okay, so that one will be calculated. Then as part of storage process, the data blocks are replicated once it is written to the assigned node. Okay, so as part of storage process, the data blocks are replicated once it is designed to the assigned node. So suppose if in first data node data has been written, automatically as a storage process, the replication of that will be done. Okay, that particular data blocks are replicated once it written to SDFS. Okay, so we need to maintain replications, because suppose the data node has got failure, so then we will get that replication. So in that replications, duplicate copy is available, we can take that one. Okay, so then name node will attempt to write replicas of data blocks on the nodes that are in other separate racks. Okay, so what it will do, in separate rack, one more data node is there. So in that data node, that blocks will be written. What happens if the same rack, let's suppose whole rack is failed? Okay, so then the duplication is also got failure. So that's why the replicas will be written, usually written in other rack. Okay, so that one will be done once it writes to particular block to particular file. Okay, so then after that, okay, suppose if only one rack is there, what it will do? So then replica blocks are written to other servers in the same rack. Okay, so in that same rack, server is available. On that server, the replica blocks are written. Okay, when different racks are not available. Okay, so then operation gets completed once the data node acknowledges that the file block replication is complete. Without replication, that write operations got not over. Okay, once it completes the replication, whether it is in other racks or if it is there is no other racks, then in that server, okay, so in that server it will be written. Once it is written is come replication process is over, then only the once the replication is over, data node acknowledges to the name node, then after that the write operations will be completed. Okay, so here when you compare to write operations, the read operation is easy. Okay, so here what it will do, yeah, so here there is no, for reading there is no replica is available, so already for a write up only replica is needed. Okay, so here in this read operations, the client requests a file from the name node. Okay, the client requests a file from the name node which returns the best data node from which to read the data. Okay, so here the client request from the request a file from the, so first it won't directly communicate with the, okay, the first it won't directly communicate with the data node. So first the client will request the file details are available in name node only, so that's why the client requests a file from the name node which returns the best data node from which to read the data. So which data node is best to read for a particular file, it will check. Okay, so then the client then access the data directly from the data node. Once it verify all those things name by name node, then the access will be given to client, then client will start reading the data. Okay, so this is the read operation. So what is the major work of name node? The major work of name node is to deliver the metadata. Okay, so the name node, it will monitors the, it will delivers the that the metadata, that means it will manages the metadata. So then after that the name node monitors the data node by listening for heartbeat sent from the data nodes during the data transfer process. So here what is a heartbeat? Heartbeat is nothing but a signal. Okay, so here the name node monitors when data is transferred from data nodes to client or clients to data nodes. So at that time, every when the data transfer process is going on, at that time every periodically it will sends the heartbeat. Okay, when it is periodically sends the heartbeat, okay, so whether it is that is nothing but acknowledgement, it will send the acknowledgement in the form of heartbeat. So here for data transfer, suppose if there is no heartbeat or if there is no signal, if there is no acknowledgement, then it means it indicates a node failure. Okay, so lack of heartbeat indicates the node failure. So when there is no heartbeat or when there is no, okay, so when there is no heartbeat or when there is no signal, when there is no acknowledgement, obviously it will be the node failure. Okay, so this is a read and write operation of a from a to HDFS file system and from HDFS file system. Okay, so write to HDFS and read from HDFS. Okay, so in exams they may ask explain the various system roles of HDFS. So at that time you need to write that architecture. Okay, so then after that you need to explain the write operations and read operations and regarding name node and data node. Those things you need to write in exam. Okay, surely they will ask this question. Explain the various system roles of HDFS. So in that you need to write that architecture. Okay. Next, various roles in HDFS. What are the different roles in HDFS? So it uses master slave model designed for a large file. Okay. So here it is designed. Here we have a master slave model designed for a large file, obviously for big data. So here master slave operations, and here we'll have a reading and streaming. That is also streaming is also possible. The name node is a metadata server or a data traffic. Okay, so name node is contains a metadata. I will call it as a metadata server. Okay, so because it is a master name node, that's why we make it as a metadata server or a data traffic controller. Okay, so then it provides a single namespace managed by the name node. Okay, it provides a single namespace managed by the name node. Okay, so single namespace are available. So namespace is nothing but a directory structure, of the file system. Okay, that is available. No data on the name node. Obviously there is no actual data in name node. Actual data is stored in only data node. Then secondary name node performs checkpoints of a name node. What is that? That is secondary name node when the primary name node is failures. Okay, so at that time the secondary node perform a checkpoints of the name node file system states. Okay, at the middle something is happened. So this secondary name node will add a backup. We'll call it as a backup. Okay, so that will takes the responsibility of the structure of the metadata, structure of the data. Okay, so then that one we'll call it as a checkpoint. Okay, so then it performs the secondary name node. It performs the periodic checkpoints that evaluate the status of the name node. Okay, periodically checks whether this file has deleted update. This file has rewritten update. So this size of the file is increases or a file of the size decreases. Everything that periodic checkpoints are that evaluates the status of the name node. And download FS image. So FS image is nothing but a in operating system the whole file structure that from the fs image we can take that one. So here we are, this HDFS download the fs image and edits the file periodically and joins them into a new fs image in order to upload into a name node. Okay, so OS contains the whole file structure. Okay, so that one will be downloaded and it will be edited, and after that a new fs image will be created, and that one will be uploaded into the name node. Okay, because name node contains the file structure, so that whatever OS contains that file structure will be updated and it will be uploaded to name node. Okay, so these are the various system roles in HDFS. Okay, so then when you come to secondary name node, it has two disk files. This will backup, what we are calling this is a backup node. It contains the two disk files that tracks the changes to the metadata. So two files, that is fs image. So already I have told that is directory structure managed by the whole file directory structure managed by operating system. So that one will be taken, and okay, so whenever it wants to upload, to upload to name node, so at that time it will be edit, and after that it will upload to STFS. Okay, so here an image of the file system state. FS image is nothing but an image of the file system state. Okay, how many files are there at particular time and other things. And another one is edit. So this is a series of modifications done to the file system. Okay, so this is this edit file system. It will be whenever you want to do modification for the file system, using that we can do a series of modifications done to the file system. So these are the two disk files are available in secondary name node. Okay, so next concept is SDFS block replication. Okay, so what do you mean by SDFS block replication? See here, whenever you want to write a data to a SDFS, that replication will be taken place. Then only the write operation will be successfully completed. Why do you need this replication? So when a particular original data, as that particular node got failure, so then what about the data? So your hard disk got failure. What happens? So whatever you are stored in that hard disk, everything will be went off. Okay, so that's why what we need to do, we will take a secondary copy. Okay, so that secondary copy we will call it as a replica. So that one in SDFS we will call it as a SDFS block replication. What do you mean by SDFS block replication? When SDFS writes a file, it is replicated across the cluster. Okay, if three clusters are there, so suppose if you are writing in one cluster, then replica will be available in second or third clusters. Okay, a clusters containing more than 8 data nodes. Each clusters contain a more than 8 data nodes. You know what? One cluster, it contains more than 8 data nodes. The replication values is set to 3. See here, 3. Suppose if you are writing a one block, okay, total 3 replication is, 3 replicas are available. So Hadoop clusters of 8 or fewer data nodes, but more than one. Okay, so I ordered that. Okay, so 8 data nodes are available in each clusters, but it should be more than one. Okay, so when it is more than one, at that time the replication value set to 2. Okay, for a single machine, the suppose if it is a single machine is there, at the time replica factor will be 1. Okay, so if it is less than 8, at the time replica factor is 2. When it is more than 8, replica factor is 3. Okay, so that is the, if for a single machine replica factor 1, for less than 8 it will be replica factor 2, and more than 8 data nodes in a cluster, the replica factor value will be 3. How this is a diagram of how the data nodes are replicated. Okay, so here this data blocks 1 3 is there, so same 3 will be here. We have one clusters. Okay, so here 3 value will be stored in different data nodes. So this is the replications, and 2 will be 3 times replica. See here 2 2 2, that block will be 3 times replica, and here 4 will be 4 4 3 times replica, and 5 5 5. So like that, in each data nodes we will have a replica. Different blocks are replicated. Okay, so this is an HDFS block replication. Okay, so this figure provides an example of how file is broken into a blocks and replicated across the clusters. So here what we are using replication by replication factor is 3. So it means each block is 3 replications are available. A replication factor of 3 ensures that any one data node can fail. The replicated block will be available on other node. Okay, so a replication factor of 3 ensures that any one data node can fail. Okay, any one data node can fail. The replicated blocks will be available on other nodes. Okay, so when that particular data nodes are when that particular nodes are failed, so then the replication will be available in another node. Okay, so that's why replication factor is very important. And what is the disadvantage? It will take more memory because we are storing the replications. That is also one disadvantage, but the data is very important, so that's why we are making a replication for each block. Okay, so here, and a replication factor of 3 ensures that any one data node can fail. The replicated blocks will be available on other nodes and then subsequently re-replicated on other data nodes. Okay, 3 replications are there. In that one node failed, then what we have? We have only 2 replicated. So in the 2 replicated, one is available for reading, and one more we are doing replicated on other node, re-replicated on other node. So like that we will do replications when the data nodes are failed. Okay. Okay, today we will discuss about the structure of so when you come to summary of this today's class. Okay, so here we will discuss about so we'll discuss about HDFS system, file system, and what are the different components, that is name node and data nodes and various system roles. We have discussed using that diagram. Then after that we have discussed the read and write operations. Okay, so when you are write operations, when replication is done, then only it is successfully done. Then we will discuss about the secondary name node. So in that we have two disk files, that is FS image and edit, and HDFS block replications. Whenever you want to write, so replications will be available on different data nodes. When it is when someone and when some data nodes are failed, so at that time, so our replicated data will be available and one more re-replicated will be done. Okay, so these are the things we discussed in this today's class. Okay, thank you very much for your patience listening.